Hey guys, question of the week here. So the question is, what qualities do you most value in your friends? So, um, the very first thing that I value in friends are people that are positive, people that are, constantly happy or excited or looking forward to things and doing things. So, if I'm going to be around somebody of any significant amount of time, I want them to be somebody that they're fun to be around. And I think positive people is something that I'm drawn to, probably because, like many of you know, my dad, Greg Lewis, just is one of the most positive people I know. Is constantly, everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be good, and everybody's great and everybody's wonderful, kind of thing. So it's so that's probably where I get that. So the next thing that I think I look for, or the things that I like in friends, is to be able to have a conversation, right? To actually talk about things intelligently and kind of run them up the flagpole about ideas. Whether things, I especially like the friends that I have that we can talk about things that are difficult for a lot of people. I like to be able to talk about politics or religion or baseball history. Who's the greatest baseball player, who's the greatest pitcher, who's the greatest basketball player, teams, all that kind of stuff, and just talk, and talk, and talk. And again, probably a lot of that comes from dad. Dad can just talk and talk, and even if he has a different view, then, or even if he has the same view as you, he'll my dad would take the opposite side just to press you a little bit. So I definitely get that from him. I probably do it more than he does now. To this point, I'll take any side. It doesn't matter. I want to press somebody on what they really think. But I like that. I think one of the times one of the times that I think were the most fun was when Brad Shields lived in town. I was living down in Brookside with my brother Kit and Mike Chamberlain. We were all kind of playing golf a lot. And I don't know what Brad was doing. Maybe Brad was being a real estate agent here. Maybe he was working at Swope. Maybe that's all it was. But I think Cassie was going to pharmacy school. So she had something at night. And so we had nights. So on Tuesday nights, because Mike would call that his mini Friday, because he works Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So on Wednesday, he didn't have anything to do. So he plays golf every Wednesday. But so on Tuesday nights, we would go over to Brad's and we would sit down on his back porch or back deck over there in South Kansas City and have a few beers, and just we didn't do anything but talk. That's all we did. We didn't plan on anything. Nobody brought any topics to think about. We just talked, and we would just talk for hours and hours. And so those were seriously really fun times. Um, and I think to that point too, or something similar that I would say about friends that I like, are the ones that you don't have to keep up with all the time, right? There are friends like, I would say Brad Shields and Mike Chamberlain are definitely in that group, and Kevin Hovis and Bob Houston. Some of those guys, I mean, I just went on a golf trip a couple years ago with Bob Houston and all his family. I actually probably hadn't seen Bob in person in a long time, in years. And yeah, man, you get thrown into a golf trip, stay in the same hotel room. I mean, it's just like an old pair of shoes. It's comfortable and easy, and we can sit around and talk, and yeah, it's great. It's fun like that. It's fun like that with like Kevin Hovis especially. He's same way, so it makes it makes it fun when that's something you do. So those are probably. I was looking over here. Yeah, I think those are my biggest things. Is people that are positive, people like have a good conversation, and people that just are easy and you pick up right where you left off, whether that is a month ago or a year ago or 5 years ago. I think the neat part about people that are friends, or friends in general, is that those are the people that, of all the people in the world, that you pick, right? So many of your friends and your closest people are people that you don't pick, right? It's family, a lot of them. Like, you don't get to pick your parents, you don't pick your kids. You for sure don't pick cousins and brothers and sisters and all those siblings and step siblings and all that stuff nowadays. So they're kind of thrown in your life, and you end up becoming very close to them, but you didn't really pick them. But your friends are the ones that you're like, yeah, me and that guy, we get along, and me and that guy, we get along, And so you have these, and that other guy said the same thing too. Like, oh, I like hanging out with that guy. He's fun or he's interesting. And so it's kind of nice that you have all these people in the world, 8 billion people or whatever the number is in the world. And you've chosen, 50 of them that you're like, these are my good friends. And when I have free time, I'm going to call them and I'm going to hang out with them. So I think we have to remember that friends are just, these gifts that you get that, if you're born into a big family, it's probably easier because you have lots of brothers and sisters. But for those of you that aren't, your friends are your closest people. So choose them wisely. If you pick negative, horrible people that constantly take from you and don't give you anything, energy, I don't mean money or anything or gifts, I just mean energy to you, then that's a struggle. So choose them wisely. But yeah, that's how I think about, or what was the question? That's the qualities that I value most of my friends are those 3 or 4 things. So that's it.